Good morning, what's going on, fam? This your boy Casey for El King Self for Life Wrestling Takes. I know y'all like, man, 2 days. Yep. Because I was out handling my business yesterday and I got in super late and I didn't want to be like this. I ain't gonna do all that crazy crap. We're gonna talk about it. Let's talk about NXT Deadline. But before we do that, let me go ahead and just give you what I thought about Collision. I seen fools online going crazy and say, oh man, Collision was fantastic. No, it wasn't. I liked the first 2 matches. The first 2 matches was we had Claudio versus Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston got the victory, so that means he finally got a dub because he lost twice. I mean, if he had one more loss on his belt, he would have been done. So, and it's only right because Claudio didn't need that. So I was cool with that matchup. Eddie Kingston, you already know. And then we got the women's. We got Mercedes versus Willow. The whole matchup was basically a Mercedes showing because Willow basically was getting jumped the whole time, and Diamante was up in Mercedes' corner. She, you know the script. But like I said, Willow was getting jumped. I mean, Willow was getting beat down, ladies and gentlemen. She was getting jumped, but she pulled out of nowhere with what would BC call it, a fruit roll up. That's exactly what happened. She pulled a roll up out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? We had Miro and CJ interacting. He said he gonna do everything in his power not to quote unquote touch her client, which is Andrade, because he's in the main event with Brian later on Saturday night. We had Kenny Omega versus All Ego Page, and I'm sitting up and saying to myself, now we ain't seen Ego Page in 15 million years. You feel me? Matter of fact, they even said the last time he was on Collision was back in July. Let that sink in. That's why. See, this is why cats get on Tony Khan case, because cats be like, well, these random matches that don't mean a goddamn thing. They don't mean nothing. They don't mean anything. And you wonder why AEW is on the downward spiral. I'm like, random matches don't excite people. I don't care how good somebody is. Was the match good? Yeah. And we already knew the man was losing. Everybody and their grandma knew All Ego Page wouldn't beat Kenny Omega. Everybody and their grandma. So at the matchup, Big Bill comes out of nowhere and just, manhandles. He demolished Kenny. He beat the snot. So obviously, they get ready for the matchup. And to do the match, I'm telling you, we doing Kenny and Chris versus Big Bill and Ricky at World 10. See, they should have been building towards this a couple weeks ago. We ain't seen them. We ain't heard from them. We ain't heard from Ricky. Good, we got a Big Bill sighting. You know what I mean? But again, the repetitiveness of I just had random matches, and that's why don't nobody give a crap, man. Sure enough, the majority of the show pretty much was random matches. Like, yeah, we got a Tony Storm sighting and everything, but I mean, wait, was she on the show? No, she wasn't even on the show. I'm tripping. It was Serena. Serena was on that. But it's things just got to tie together, man. If certain things aren't tying together, cats just not gonna give a crap. Like I said, I told you, I seen the AEW Shields on Saturday night. Oh man, this show was, I'm like, y'all just, all y'all care about is wrestling, man. Y'all don't be giving a crap about, y'all don't be caring about the story. That's what they need more of. They need more story, and they need more larger than life characters. And I know people gonna say, well, that's just them trying to be WWE. I'm like, no, that's pro wrestling as a whole. If you go and look at every pro wrestling company, everybody do the same exact thing. Everybody. So before I talk about NXT Deadline, also I wanted to discuss my thoughts on the whole discord that took place on Twitter yesterday. I wasn't even on Twitter. I was out, like I say, handling my business, doing what I got to do. And so late at night, that's when I seen everybody going ham. I'm like, I said, wait, hold up, Mark Briscoe will never say nothing. Y'all know from him and his brother, Jay Briscoe, the Briscoes, right? His brother, he died early this year. And I think that Saturday, it was the anniversary of the last match, right? So WWE Fox decided to post a picture of Bobby, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford talking about "We Them Boys," and I'm like, wait a minute. I said, hold up. I say that slogan is associated with one wrestling group and one wrestling group only, and that is, you know who, Jay and Mark Briscoe. So Mark Briscoe went crazy. He said, hey, Triple H, man, I don't know who the intern is that you got working at WWE Fox, man, but you need to fire, man, because, you know, man, this being my brother's slogan, man. Yeah, brother, man. Yeah, I'm saying, you know that's how he talk, right? So he said all that, and y'all already know. The tribalists and the toxicity from the WWE hardcores demolished that, man. I mean, it was in the boys' comments talking about, man, you soft, man, you tripping, bro. Hey, man, look, I'm glad Jay dead. I'm like, y'all. So guess what he did? He apologized. He said, look, man, I didn't mean to tell you to fire that cat. It's just, like I said, it's the anniversary of my brother, man, and you know, me and him, we always gonna be them boys. Now let's go ahead and talk about them boys situation. Everybody and their grandma know that them boys slogan has been around the game for a very long time. I'm telling you, I think it was, I personally believe it was created from one of us. Y'all remember them boys in the hood, right? Bad Boys South, right? Jeezy and the rest of them cats, right? We them boys in the hood. Y'all remember the song? Then Wiz Khalifa came out. Look, we them boys. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And then the Cowboys, they use that slogan. Them Cowboys use it. So I'm like, it's used by a whole lot of people. And I don't think that the Briscoes trademark it. I honestly don't think so. So was it kind of an overaction? Maybe it could have been. But again, you got to remember, my brother still breathing. And then I know people was like, oh man, y'all know they didn't white supremacy. Y'all know they ain't homophobes. I'm like, look here, man. They apologized for the crap they said, you know. They did. That's why I've been rolling with them, because them cats are good, man. Jay and Mark Briscoe, they were great. They were great together, man. That's why I say I miss Jay, man. I can say that boy, when I heard about the car accident that happened at the beginning of this year, man, it got me, because I was like, dang, I mean, out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just saw that, man, at Final Battle from last year. And then, boom, he gone. You know? So I'm like, Mark had every right to, you know, feel that way, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was kind of an overreaction. But, again, the toxicity from the IWC that continues to showcase why a lot of cats really don't want to be on Twitter no more, because they don't want to deal with it. And like I said, I know fools be coming at the AEW elitists because they could be toxic just as they be toxic too. Like I said, it's too much toxicity from both sides. But sometimes, I'm gonna be honest with you, the East side seem to bring it out. They bring out the worst. I mean, when you hop in cats' mentions, talk about, I'm glad your brother is dead. Like, what? Like, you not right in the head. You are. Look, you don't have to like the company or whatever, but thinking that, glad that a wrestler's brother is dead, that's like me saying I'm glad that Bray Wyatt ain't here no more. That's stupid. Like I said, some of y'all cats is just evil as, I mean, evil. Some of y'all circus clowns is evil as heck in the IWC, and y'all show yourselves every day. That's why I'm glad I don't be on there all the time. I'm glad I don't live on Twitter. I'm glad I have other important things I can do. Yes, I check Twitter every now and then just to see what's going on, and yes, I post a lot, but I'm not there. I don't live there like a whole lot of these circus clowns in the IWC do. Like I said, and it's sad, man. That's why I say I could never get down with tribalism. Like I said, when I say I prefer one over the other, yeah, I do. But here's the deal. I don't wish death on that said company. I don't. I want them to continue to do great. And as of right now, some cases, you can say that the E, in some cases, is just a tad bit better than AEW. It's just, I mean, now listen, do I like everything that's going on in the E? Heck to the freaking no. There's a whole lot of crap I don't like. But when you can say who's hotter at the time, right now it's the E. It's called it what it is. Speaking of which, let's talk about it. Deadline, live from Bridgeport, Connecticut. I watched the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and break down everything that happened, and I'll give you my honest grade. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. Like I said, trying to get to work in the morning, man, you got to deal with all kind of crazy traffic. See, these fools are driving like 2 miles per hour. But we had the pre-show. We had Nathan Frazier versus Axiom. It was all right. It was okay. You know, listen, I'm high on the Seth Rollins guy, Nathan. So I was looking for him to do a little something. Like, I've seen Axiom before. Axiom pretty good too. But I think this is like just a generic TV match. Like they probably could have just saved that for NXT. Probably would have hit a little bit better on NXT because it's NXT. But I get it. You know, hey, what is the whole game? If you showcase that you deserve to be on the pay-per-view, get your spot. And that's exactly what those two young men tried to do. Axiom gets the victory, and we get on to the main rosters on the main show. Well, it's not the main roster, but the main show. Out of nowhere, Shawn Michaels comes out, and I already knew. Now, there was a lot of speculation because a certain somebody was in town. He ain't had nothing to do, so you knew he was pulling up. And he said he would love, quote unquote, to work with him. Shout out to my boy Ariel, who can't stand that man no more. Shawn Michaels was out there to call the man out, and sure enough, CM Punk walked out, and the crowd went crazy. He pulled up to the NXT faithful. CM Punk, who would have told, listen, if somebody would have told me in 2023 that CM Punk was pulling up on NXT, I would have been laughing at you. That fool pulled up on NXT, man. Listen, wrestling, you never say never in wrestling. I don't care. You never say never because you never know what's going to happen. Pro wrestling, you never know what's going to happen. Even though, quote unquote, it's all predetermined, you never know what's going to happen. That's the crazy part. Now, the promo itself looked like they didn't know what the clown they was talking about. Michaels didn't know what he was talking about. CM Punk absolutely didn't know what he was talking about. I said, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't know their lines. I don't know. But both of them said that, well, CM Punk said, I grew up watching you. Just like a lot of the cast that's in the back said, they grew up watching me. I grew up watching you, you know? And like I said, it was a cool moment, cool segment. But like I said, neither one of them knew what they was talking about. It was goofy. So we move on to the main show, the beginning match, the opening match. I believe it was I keep calling the IC title. Ain't nowhere near the IC title. The North American Championship matchup. Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio with Rey Mysterio on commentary. Talk about I'm out of my seat. The match, man, listen, man, I'm trying to be nice, I really am, but I wasn't really quite feeling the match, to be honest with you. You know, I'm glad the man won. Dragon Lee got it done. He beat him. We didn't get a sighting from nobody from the Judgment Day, which is very funny. Not one clown pulled up. No Mommy, no Damian Priest, no JD Madonna, no Finn Balor. None of the clowns pulled up. They left their boy hanging. So Rey Mysterio was proud of him and everything, and he was talking all kind of mad crap about Dominic and whatever. But, and man, let me tell you, I got to be 100% with y'all, man. I don't know, for the cats that love NXT, how the heck do y'all deal with Booker T, Buck dancing behind? How do y'all deal with it? Because all that fool do is shuck and jive. That's all he does. That's it. All he do the whole show. Vic Joseph trying to do a little something, and this fool just cooning the whole show. I'm like, yeah, man. Dude was, I'm like, man, listen, I like, that's what I said. I can't deal with the shuck and the jiving, y'all. I just can't deal with it. I know y'all love NXT, and y'all, I just can't deal with the buck dancing from Booker T. I can't deal with it. The fool was buck dancing the entire show. The entire show. I mean, just buck dancing all day. I'm like, how do y'all deal with the goofy, foolish clown commentary? I just can't get into it. Cooning on commentary. I can't get into it. So we get into the next matchup. I believe the next matchup was the Women's Iron Survivor matchup. Tiffany Stratton, Lash Legend, Fallon Hallen, Keilani Jordan, and Blair Davenport, the one who I said was gonna win. The women's, it was okay. It was obviously the two that carried the match was Tiffany and Blair. Jordan is coming along, Miss Keilani. Lash Legend was trying to, quote unquote, she was trying to have a coming out party. She was trying. I give her that. She was trying. She still needs a lot of work. She needs a lot of work. Like I said, I'm not gonna straight hate on her because Look, I leave that up to the white supremacists and the coons to do that. But like I said, she definitely needed a little bit of work. Blair Davenport did work, like I said she would do. Miss Jordan obviously was the odd girl out. She was out there trying to have a little showing. Miss Fallon, she tried to do a little something. But Tiffany and Blair, they carried the whole matchup. They carried the entire matchup, and Blair got the victory. Blair won the Iron Survivor matchup, and as of right now, she is the #1 contender. And then, so Lyra came out there to basically point at her and say, okay, you got your shot at at New Year's Eve, right? But then we had a Cora Jade side. Cora Jade came out of nowhere and laid out Lyra. And so, now Cora Jade, let me tell you something. So, Cora Jade, she was a huge fan of CM Punk back in the day. A huge fan. And so, backstage after the show, he walked up to her and she pretty much she was in character because she's a heel right now. But she pretty much melted in his hands when he came up and greeted and told her that he's proud of her and all this crazy stuff. But what else happened on the show after that? Let's see, who was the next matchup? Because I'm trying to remember off the top of the dome. It was a singles match, right? Oh, Mello. We got Mello and the Batman beard guy, Lexus King. Listen, y'all, I'm gonna be 100%. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling this new. I'm not. I seen everybody online. Listen, Cats was clowning him when he did that clown promo. Lexus King, Brian Pillman Jr. When he did that promo, I was like, yeah, he did a lot of work. I can't get into this. It just looked mid. It looked very mid, y'all. It looked very mid. And the matchup was it was basically carried by Mello. Mello carried the whole matchup. Mello carried the entire match. Excuse me. He carried the whole matchup. Mello won, which I was surprised because I thought they was gonna get a nod to. I genuinely thought they was gonna get a nod to Lex. I even with him being mid, I thought he was gonna win the match, but no, they gave it to Mello. Mello won. I said, oh, okay, all right, cool. Mello won. So afterwards, he got on the mic and he said something like, "I know everybody think I did it, but I did not attack Trick Williams." And they pretty much let y'all know that Mello's going to turn on him. They let y'all know Mello will turn on him. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, because he was the one that attacked him. So, and backstage, both of them had talked to each other. I forgot to talk about this. Trick and Mello talked. And Mello was like, hey, man, let me tell you something. You go do who you handle your business. And then Trick was like, yeah, man, I'm just telling you right now, what you need to do, you need to go win your match. I'll win mine. Let me tell y'all something. That boy Trick Williams is over. He the most over cat in NXT right now out of everybody. He's way over than the NXT champion himself. Trick Williams is over. When you got Booker T out there shucking the jiving, oh yeah, oh. Listen, man. Look, Trick Williams is over. That boy is over. So, right after that, we got the men's Iron Survivor matchup. And the men's Iron Survivor match surprised the heck out of me because ain't nowhere in the world I had Trick Williams winning that matchup, especially with him looking like the New England Patriots from Super Bowl 51, because that's exactly who he looked like. He was on the verge of losing. You had Trick Williams, Josh Briggs, Taylor Bate, Braun Breaker, and who else was in this? One more cat was in it. Forgive me right now. Forgive me. I hate this brain fog crap. Let's see. Braun Breaker, Trick Williams, Josh Briggs. Forgive me, y'all. I hate this. I hate it. I ask y'all to forgive me. I just watched it, and listen, the men did work. Everybody did work. Like I said, I'm just gonna cut to the nitty gritty. Trick Williams looked like he was on the verge of losing, and out of nowhere, I want to say like in under three, like he got like three, because he had a victory, then he had another one, then he had to go back into the penalty box, right? Then out of nowhere, he got 3 wins, like 1, 2, 3, because the clock was ticking. The clock was ticking, and then once he got that victory right before the thing expired, the whole crowd went crazy. The entire crowd went nuts. I was like, me, my brother, and my home guy, we all us went nuts. We went crazy. That's how crazy. Listen, that match surprised the heck out of all, because we all had we had Braun Breaker winning. Oh, Dijak. I had Dijak or Braun Breaker winning. That's exactly what I had winning. Trick Williams went in there and got the dub and got it done. He will be facing Ilino Dragunov on New Year's Eve. And right after the matchup, that was at the end of the show. So we get the women's steel cage match. Kiana James versus Roxanne Perez, and I'm gonna be 100% with y'all. I think they should have opened the show with this matchup because the crowd. Can I be honest with you? Outside of Shawn Michaels, CM Punk, and then the men's Iron Survivor matchup, Bridgeport was crap. They were a terrible crowd. Remember, I tell y'all all the time, a crowd makes or breaks a wrestling show. I tell y'all that every time. I tell y'all all the time. Those are like the only 3 times they were that hype. You know what I'm saying? The women's, I would have opened the show with that. Was it okay? You know, they really trying to make Kiana James as this real threat. They really trying to make her like she could be a legit contender. I'm gonna be 100% with you. Like, I don't watch it like that, so I probably need to see more. I'm definitely gonna watch New Year's Eve. Trust me, I'm watching New Year's Eve. I am. But I definitely need to see a little bit more of Kiana James. You know what I mean? Roxanne, I know she Booker T's pupil. That's his baby. That's his kid. Roxanne is kind of in the middle for me. She in the middle. Like I said, I see the appeal. I see everything. Now, the one thing I can say this, Michaels is very good at getting storylines going for the women, because the feud that she had with Blair Davenport going into the Great American Bash, y'all, that was great. That whole feud, everything, it was great. And so I'm like this. I'm like, the potential is there. It's there because Michaels is doing his job. It's the wrestlers, it's the ladies themselves that got to do what they got to do to continue to get over and everything. Like I said, I don't know if what they're doing could transfer over to the main roster. It could, but like I said, it's just my honest opinion. It's no disrespect to any of the ladies. I thought the steel cage match, it was okay. Kiana's friend, I think her name Issy or something like that, she came out of nowhere, and I thought it was Tiffany. Real talk. I genuinely thought it was Tiffany. That came out of nowhere. Honestly, I thought that was Tiffany. No, her name is Issy or something like that. She came out of nowhere, and she pretty much screwed over Roxanne to help Kiana get the victory. Main event, Ilino Dragunov versus Baron Corbin for the NXT World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I got to be 1,000% with you. I would have had the Iron Survivor. I know people always say, well, it's the main title. The main title always closes the show. At this point, no. I would have had the men's Iron Survivor close the show. Real talk. I would have had the steel cage match kick the show off, and I would have had the men's Iron Survivor be the main event, and the fans go home happy, because that was the last. All the energy was gone after Trick Williams won. All the energy. So Dragunov, he did everything in his power to bring Baron Corbin to a good matchup. And was the match good? It was okay. I was just waiting till the match got over with, because everybody in the grandma knew Dragunov wasn't losing. Now, the one thing about Dragunov, that fool always looked like he crying every time I know he trying to sell the pain. That boy be looking like a little baby when he be in the ring crying. I mean, he just did. That man, that's all he do the whole match. Go watch the Dragunov match. When he get whacked or he fall on his butt or something, he be crying. That boy literally be crying. He be crying, y'all. That fool be crying. Baron Corbin tried to do a couple of things, man, but it wasn't enough. Dragunov got the victory, retained his championship, and right afterwards, whoop, that Trick started playing. Trick Williams walked up out there, and right behind him, Miller was behind him. And so everybody was like, oh, he about to. I was like, no, he's not turning right now. He ain't. Like I said, New Year's Evil is when he will return. Everybody and grandma know Melo gonna turn on him. Everybody. And word is now Melo's coming up to SmackDown and he's gonna be a part of the United States Championship tournament match. He's going against Grayson Waller. I don't know if he's gonna win. I can't trust H&M. I genuinely can't. Like I said, I can't trust. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know. I genuinely don't know if he's going to get the victory. I feel like he's going up and he's going to be 0-3 against main roster talent because he lost twice to Finn Balor. Now he's finna more than likely lose again to Grayson Waller. Like I could be wrong, but you know, the E has showcased that when it's concerning our talent, we can't really get behind them. Now, Michaels is a mixed bag because he screwed over Trick Williams at the Great American Bash after he won it. Then the very next night on NXT, he lost the title. But then I guess he quote unquote trying to revamp him or I'm like, it's a mixed bag. And then, like I said, before anybody come to me and say, well, what about Tony Khan? Look here, man. Tony Khan finally then woke up because, like I said, Swerve is on a phenomenal run. Now it's the rest of the cast is in the back. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, this ain't got nothing to do with TK. This is about H. This is about Shawn Michaels and about what I thought about NXT Deadline. So overall, I thought NXT Deadline was a solid pay-per-view. The crowd sucked. I'm going to walk away and give it a 7 out of 10. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to genuinely give it a 7 out of 10. Like, that's the highest I'm going. It's a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a solid, decent pay-per-view. I think match placement and in a way, if the crowd was more into the show and certain matches got certain placement or whatever, hey, I think we probably looking at an 8, possibly 9 out of 10 show. But I'm sticking with a 7 out of 10. So you heard my thoughts on them boys situation. You heard my thoughts on what I thought about Collision and NXT Deadline. I will see y'all cats more than likely tomorrow for my discussion on what I thought about Monday Night Raw. And this is it. This is your boy Caseyville, King Self for Life Wrestling Takes, signing out. Holla at your boy. Make sure you hit that comment section up. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. And I'm out. Holla at me.